Hi everyone, if you are new to this channel, in this series of videos I'm using the final mission of the Solaris Showdown campaign as a test bench for different mechs and weapon loadouts. In one of my previous videos of this series, I've decided to try for the first time my favorite all-energy Annihilator variant, ANH-1E, which I've loaded with the 4 of these new PPC-X variants, the close-range PPCs, the ones that you receive with this Solaris Showdown DLC. I was curious to see how it's gonna work, and it's been absolutely devastating close-range variant. I thought that the results were spectacular. However, a lot of people on Facebook criticized me for this kind of build, suggesting that I am not gonna survive at a long range using this kind of build, because it's kind of useless at longer ranges. And I get it, yes. It's not gonna be efficient at longer ranges, there is no question about that. However, there are certain types of situations when that kind of build can be very useful, particularly in the dense urban environments. Specifically, sometimes you get in this game some crazy difficult raid missions. The one that I shown you once on this channel, in the mega city kind of scenario, where you're thrown into that dense urban environment with a bunch of enemy mechs, vehicles, helicopters, and you have a hard time surviving something like that, and you can lose a bunch of components. So in that kind of environment, it can be actually quite useful, and there is not a lot of opportunity to use any long range weapons there. So for that matter, you know, there is still a use for this kind of build. So I am not entirely agree with those people who criticized that kind of build. Well, today, however, I wanted to try something different, and I want to get the best of all worlds, I mean the best of both worlds, by combining the long and short-range weapons in this, once again, ANH-1E Annihilator variants, and this is what I came up with. I want to see how this kind of mixed build is going to stack up against other builds which I've demonstrated, the one that I loaded with this 4 of the PPC-X variants, or the 4 standard PPCs, which I absolutely love. I've shown this several times on this channel as well, but today I've decided to try this, mixing this ER PPC and PPC-X to see how much heat all this going to generate. I never use all 4 ER PPCs in here, never, because that generates way too much heat, because with the 4 ER PPCs you can get 4 alpha strikes, 3 to 4 maximum alpha strikes before you get a thermal shutdown, whereas with the 4 standard PPCs you can do 8 or even up to 9 alpha strikes before getting a thermal shutdown. That's, you know, from my previous experience, and I am curious to see how many alpha strikes I can do with this kind of mix before I get a thermal shutdown, because this I find that this PPC-X generates significantly less heat than the standard PPC, and it's got a better firing rate, because standard PPC, as you can see, generates 6.2 points of heat, right? And this is 4.3, which is much less. And then the hottest weapon in the game, besides the B laser, is this ER PPC, which generates 9.3 points of heat. So I'm kinda curious to see where this is gonna go. Also, I'd like to use this video as an opportunity to explain why I never use double heatsinks in this all-energy based ANH-1E Annihilator variant. I do use double heatsinks once they become available in ballistic variants of the Annihilator chassis, but I never use them here in this ANH-1E all-energy based variant. And a lot of people criticize me for that, so for that matter I want to explain this here once and for all. So, I have a bunch of single heatsinks in here, as you can see, and now let's take a careful look at this number, this cooling points, okay? 4.85 points of cooling in here, okay? So please remember this number, 4.85 points, alright? Now, let's go ahead, get rid of all these single heatsinks in here. Alright, so no heatsinks, and now let's fill everything up with double heatsinks as much as we can to the limit. Alright. I cannot insert double heatsink in here, obviously, it's not gonna fit, and I cannot insert anything there, alright? So I've reached the limit of how many double heatsinks this Annihilator can house, okay? And what do we finally get? We get 3.8 points of cooling, alright, which is minus 1.05 points to what we've previously had. Okay, so we've got less cooling. Okay, this kind of build will run hotter, and we underutilize the available tonnage. One might say, okay, I cannot insert any double heatsinks in here, but what if we go ahead and just, you know, fill this up with single heatsinks, okay? Well, let's go ahead and try that. Alright, and what do we finally get? We've got exactly the same 4.85 points of cooling, you know, same number as we've started at, while still being significantly under-tonnaged. And there is no point to go under-tonnaged in this game, because the mech isn't gonna be moving any faster than when the entire tonnage is being utilized, okay? So using double heatsinks in this particular Annihilator variant is absolutely pointless. So guys, please stop criticizing me or asking me why I am not using any double heatsinks in here. As you can see, it's absolutely pointless. So there is no reason to use double heatsinks in here. Alright. Moreover, according to the lore, to the Battletech lore or the previous MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries, you cannot mix single heatsinks with double ones. Even though MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries game allows you to do so, you could not do so in the lore or in the MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries. You cannot mix both of them. Moreover, in MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries, let's say if the mech comes in with single heatsinks, in order to install double heatsinks in there, you had to perform an upgrade first to be able to install double heatsinks in there. But then let's say if you wanted to go back from double heatsinks to the single heatsinks, then you had to perform a downgrade on the mech, and both of those upgrades, either upgrades or heatsink downgrade there, also costed you some money. You had to pay your tax for that to do so. So they aren't quite compatible. And for that matter, I am also trying not to mix single heatsinks with double heatsinks in this game as well, because I'm just, you know, being kind of weird and orthodox about those kinds of things, so I just try to not to mix though these heatsinks, even though this game allows me to do so. So once again, it's absolutely pointless to do something like this and to use double heatsinks in this particular Annihilator chassis, because we are still under-tonnaged, heavily under-tonnaged, while arrived at exactly the same number, you see. So let's revert it back, you see, exactly same number, and we still utilize the whole tonnage. So once again, guys, please stop asking me or criticizing me why I am not using any double heatsinks in here. It's pointless, absolutely pointless. Alright, enough of that. Let's go ahead, take a look at some upgrades, and then let's take this build into the battle. Let's see the upgrades. So the upgrades here, you know, this is a standard set of upgrades for this kind of chassis. Just, you know, some marginal improvements. Nothing really special here. Let's go ahead and finally take this mech into the battle. I am very curious to see what this package is going to deliver.
Duncan Fisher here, filling in for Terry Z due to a sudden case of death. It could have been poison or natural causes, and I'm sure no one will look into it in the spirit of self-preservation.
It's all come down to this, Mason. My info has the Inglorious Outcasts about to compromise the ballistic glass shielding the crowd and the Solaris Council. Outlast the other teams and make it to the finale. They'll unleash their heavy hitter once they know they can take a clean shot.
No pressure, huh?
So at a close range, I'm primarily using the PPC-X, the close range ones. Ooh, it got too close to him. And then at longer ranges, I will utilize the ER PPCs. And sometimes both, you know, because why not? There he goes. You know, actually, I have to say, given how much I've been using so far all of this for PPCs, I have to say the hit is pretty manageable. It's certainly much better than when I've tried all 4 ER PPCs stacked. Alright, so far so good, and I am killing all that stuff very quickly in here. Wow. Now I'm finally running a little bit hard, but again, it's definitely manageable. It's definitely manageable, and we are cooling down fairly quickly. Nice, nice. Actually, I should probably unlock my arms in here, because all of my PPCs are stuck in the arms, so It will be more accurate now.
Smoked his opponent like salmon. Damn! That looked like a real blast. He hits his opponent with a decisive strike.
Nice. Is he still alive after this? Wow, that commando took a lot of beating. Or maybe I wasn't just very accurate. Either way, it doesn't matter anymore. Wow, I am very impressed so far. I am very impressed. I really like this mix. It's a really nice mix so far. Let's see how we will do in the following rounds. And I haven't gotten any thermal shutdown so far, which is a good sign. The heat is definitely manageable. Especially once I stop using ER PPCs and primarily use -X and lasers. It's totally doable.
System offline.
Mason has made it to round 2, and I haven't been dragged out of the broadcast booth. A win-win. What a shot! He puts another opponent to bed.
Someone is running behind me. It must be that general. Let's deal with this.
His goal was to make himself an easy target and fail spectacularly. He's on the right path. Hot dang, they ought to change the name of this arena after that ammo blast, because these grounds are now a kitchen cooking of a smorgasbord of combat chaos.
Target awesome.
All right. I really like it so far. It's fun. Let's see how we can deal with those assault mechs down there. So far we've been dealing mostly with medium and light stuff, but let's see how we can delete these big guys.
I would pour myself a drink if I weren't afraid it was poison. The ammo just ruptured.
That's the Marauder finally.
New target Marauder 2.
Okay, now I'm running a little bit hotter than I would like to. Yes, so here is my first emergency shutdown, the thermal shutdown. Not bad though, you know, not bad though. It's actually, you know, comparable to when I had the standard PPCs. For standard PPCs, very comparable. Maybe actually even better than that in terms of the cooling and, you know, heat management. Not bad at all.
Another opponent tossed into the loser circle.
Okay, who's next?
Target acquired. New target, Phoenix Hawk.
As he turns this around, his mech parts will be decorating the arena walls.
Oh wow, he almost ate my entire armor on the cockpit. I better be careful now because I can easily get a headshot.
Brutality in the arena just claimed another limb. It's going to be an uphill battle for that pilot from here on out. Checkout time. He takes down another opponent. These combatants are being swatted away like flies.
Alright, let's go ahead and repair now.
Justin Allard has nothing on him.
This is your final warning, Mason. Stand down, or you will be leaving in one piece.
I must say I really like this build so far. I think this is an excellent configuration. That's a perfect balance between, you know, long range and short range. I like it. I will definitely look forward to trying this configuration in other builds. I mean, in other missions.
These
Other
mech
builds.
warriors are taking the safe approach. But mech battles are like a surfer facing a massive wave. You just gotta stroll up to your opponent and say, "Hey, bud, let's party!"
Let's go out this way because I wanna see how quickly we can delete those two assault mechs. Then we'll deal with the smaller stuff.
The hits just keep on coming as round
So
3
there
is
is a
set to
fellow
go.
Annihilator, which, you know,
Insert tournament sponsors
easy
here.
to give a
Hey,
headshot
had to fill
to.
in on a moment's notice, folks.
Let's do with this
Another opponent
king
down for the
crab
count.
now.
New target.
Come on, I'm here.
Wrapping up. He's getting peppered like a steak. Dumps off another opponent.
Wow, wow, that's a very, very, very good result.
Target acquired.
I must say.
Missile.
He's really running into problems after getting his leg blown off. Well, that's going to be a challenge. One of the mech jockeys
Yeah,
just
hit
lost
is
an arm.
definitely manageable. Yeah, it runs hot, but not hotter than
Taking care of business out there.
for standard PPC, that's for sure. And I really like having this ER PPCs because one thing which I was a little bit, you know, lacking with for standard PPCs is a bit of range. And here we shouldn't have this problem.
His way to victory.
Okay, these Crusaders, they take a lot of beating.
One of their weapons has been knocked out. Will they be able to recover, or will this spell the end of the match? The ammo pack detonates. This has turned into a real combustible situation. He blasts his opponent into another dimension.
Who was that? Look at this.
New target Orion.
Oh, he's not dead yet. I thought I'm done with him. Okay. Alright, got myself surrounded a little bit.
Had some oomph.
What the hell is going on with this urban mech? Seriously.
Target destroyed.
He takes an incredible amount of beating. Besides being super fast. Okay.
New target Crab.
Crab? Who's shooting B-laser at me?
Direct hit. One
Must
of their
be-
weapons has been neutralized. A strategic attack that could have a serious impact on the outcome of this match.
So sorry. Stalker.
Target destroyed.
What a spectacular shot! That mech pilot won't be hugging anyone after that hit.
Target destroyed.
So one last target so far.
That's gracious. If the intention was to become an easy target and fail miserably, he's succeeding admirably.
Okay. Come on, show up. Show up. Ah, he's afraid. He's smart. This is, you know, probably the smartest pilot here. This Trebuchet. He knows who he's dealing with. But obviously it's not gonna save him.
There goes a leg. He'll be limping through the end of this match.
Yeah.
The outcasts have compromised the ballistic
All right.
glass. They're about to unleash their assassin.
Sounds like I better keep him busy.
Try not to get yourself killed out
I
there,
got
Commander.
some a little bit of a structure damage on one of my legs, on the left leg. but that's okay. We'll make it anyways. Then there will be that Atlas coming from that direction.
This is it, folks. A final one-on-one duel for the tournament crown. Strutting into the arena, it looks like we have Caleb the Sledgehammer Rourke, looking to smash my boy like a nail.
It's hammer time.
The Sledgehammer sounds like a real tool. Why don't you leave the one-liners to the professionals, buddy?
Wow, it took only
let
3
him get a clean
salvos
shot,
to
Mason.
get rid of Atlas.
Got it. I'm on him.
Wow, I am genuinely impressed with this build. I really like it so far. I will definitely try this again in the future, and this may actually become another favorite of mine. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Seems like a good fit. Indeed, the new year crowns the FedCom Unification Champion, and most importantly, a new Solaris commentator. Assuming the great houses don't hit the mute button, you'll be hearing from me shortly. Stay tuned, Mech fans, and I'll see you in the arena.
Fool. Your no-name target practice. You don't stand a chance.
"29 mech kills. You know, comparable to many other Annihilator builds I've shown so far. And then, you know, the damages, just like I said, I've got a little bit of a structure damage in one of my legs, but I didn't lose anything though, so yes, you can see, like, if I were to repair this, right? So we will have to, repair a little bit of structure in the left leg, but everything else is just superficial armor damage. Anyways, so very much like I said, I am very impressed with this build. I really like it. I think this should be a fine balance between long range weapons and short range. And hey, this ER PPC, this is probably the longest range weapon that you ever get in this game. Look at the range is 1875 meters. The only other weapon with a similarly great range is the heavy rifle. It's the ballistic weapon, but there are no energy weapons which surpass this kind of range of the, you know, ER PPC. You just can't beat it in terms of range. And then for the close range, you get 2 of these devastating PPC-X variants combined with this 4 medium laser short burst, which have an excellent firing rate. Yeah, I mean, like, so far, what's not to like about it? And as you can see, I've destroyed all of those targets fairly quickly. Yes, I did, you know, a couple of times get a thermal shutdown. This is because I wasn't just careful enough for managing the heat, but hey, I've been getting it at times as well when I was using 4 standard PPCs. It's actually pretty comparable to using the 4 standard PPCs in here, except you kinda destroy all of those targets even quickly here. So I think this combination has a better damage per second ratio than, you know, having all 4 standard PPCs in here. Yes, so I will definitely give this kind of build another shot, another try in some other types of situations. I should probably take one or more of this into the either Battlefield or Warzone type of contracts to see how we can do in those types of scenarios. Yeah, it's definitely a worthy try, and who knows, like I said, this could even become my next favorite build. We'll see, but so far it's actually it's met my expectations and even surpassed them in some ways, so I'm very happy with this so far. Alright, anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope it was useful. As always, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. And until the next video, have a nice day.